Well, I'm at the Multidyne stand here at NAB 2017, place we always come to visit, and this is the man we always speak to. It's Frank. Hi Frank, how you doing?
Excellent, excellent. Thank you for coming.
Well, we're going to do a bit of a stand tour here because you've got so much to show. Let's start with this lot here. What we got?
Well, this is the dog bone, for obvious reasons. We have a version that is Ethernet, that is video from 1.5 gig, 3 gig, and even 12 gig, 2 channels or a transceiver. We have audio 4x4 with data as well as GPIO, a version that has the tactical fiber connection, which would give power to the device as well. We then have a rack system for those, and since they are dog bones, they are mounted in the bone yard, as you will see here. So very cheeky. 12G is a big theme here, as you see on the sign. As you see here, the traditional silver bullet we're somewhat famous for is now in 12G. Same form factor as well. Comes with the same nice rugged case, universal power supply. Moving over here is part of the same versatile bricks line, and I'll show you shortly the little cards that go in there. But we've won the first of 2 awards is right here at the show for that platform.
Amazing. Right, let's go and have a look at another area. So, different area stand?
Yes.
What are we looking at here?
This is the one RU platform fiber transport. So what we have here, there's a series of cards in here, and eventually you'll be able to change them to different signal types. But as you see it here, each SFP is an input or an output. Could be a transceiver. And what's really exciting is that based on the SFP that you put in, the slot will take the personality of it. So in other words, if this is a dual TX, these will be inputs. If it's a transceiver, it'll be an input and an output. And if it's a receiver, it'll be a dual receiver. It'll be dual receive there. If you populate these with CWDM wavelengths or optical devices that are of different wavelengths, we can patch them into here to the passive multiplexer, have them come out on one fiber. So, and very high density. If you forego the multiplexer, you could put more cards on a different platform. Redundant power, 1 RU. Yeah.
Moving on, somewhere else? So hop number 3 on the Multidyne tour. Whereabouts are we now?
All right, well, these little cards are the magic behind much of what I've just showed you. So in each of those products, it is a series of one of these cards. With a dog bone, it's just in fact one, as you can see. So what's particularly exciting about this box here is, or at least the architecture of it, is we are able to put any signal complement in this 6-card frame. So here we have Ethernet, video, it might be 12G or 3G, it might be reference, 4x4 audio, as I said, GPIO and data, and this can be built to any configuration because very often we'll build a product and someone will say it's great, but I need one more video, or I need to go the other direction. Now we can build a standard product to that order. We also have a 3-channel box as well, so just 3 cards. And this is the 2nd award for this versatile bricks, the VB series that we won here at the show, so we're very excited about that. And while we're here, is a whole host of new OpenGear cards. So for most of these portable combinations, we have an OpenGear card. I think about 15 of them. And in addition, we've departed from fiber a little bit. We're not abandoning it, but adding to it, which would include a multi-viewer, some color correction products, a signal generator, some distribution amps. Of course, they have fiber ports as well, but it is in an attempt to diversify a bit more and give one-stop shop, one solution.
Frank, that's great. Let's go and find something else.
All right.
Next hop, what have we got here, Frank?
Next up, we'll start with here, the POV camera right here on top. So this is a very typical camera from many manufacturers, and what we have beneath it is our fiber optic transmitter. And at the other end, that small box is the receiver. What's a real departure, aside from the pan-tilt zoom control and the video transport, is that it's all signals, including power, here on this SMPTE hybrid cable. We inject the power there, we pass all the signals on the 2 fibers in between. So now this could be in a remote location, usually temporary or live, where you don't want to need to find power on site. So it becomes quite versatile. This will work with any of the manufacturers of PTZ cameras, so it's entirely agnostic. Moving down here, we have the triple base for the Silverback. So you can have 3 cameras with 1 base. Standard and 4K is shown here. We have the display for optical budget and other configurations, which is quite exciting. Moving down the rack is the OpenGear frame, which is a standard of the industry, which we have adapted for our cards. But down here now are 2 additions to the FiberNet platform. This, as you see it here, is effectively a 16 by 16 matrix. Inputs could be copper, could be optical, or any combination of. Below it is a 64. So, as I said, as I stand here, they're typical matrix cross-connect. What's exciting is that we have with OpenGear now the FiberNet control system, and that gives the ability not just to manage the router in a traditional sense, but to use it as a transport product by aggregating signals, putting them on different fibers, the wavelengths within, managing all that, and bringing them to other nodes, which might be routers or other equipment, and dropping them off, creating effectively a network, not IP, not yet. We'll talk about that next year, but certainly a similar topology, a ring, a star, where you can have inputs and outputs dropped off along this network. At the bottom is our EOS 5000, which is our first entry into FiberNet for a pure optical cross-connect.
Anything else to see?
Yes, there sure is.
Let's go. So our penultimate stop here on the Multidyne tour, what are we looking at?
Well, this is part of the 12G theme we've been talking about, which is an upgrade or an addition to the standard 4K5 Silverback. So you've got the full complement of signals that already existed, and then this optional plate gives 2 channels of 12G in either direction, or 2 channels of 6G. It's downwardly compatible, as well as some fiber ports. So for this Alexa here, Amira, sorry, it has 2 6G ports, which it would transport very easily. For the Blackmagic, which we'll see in a moment, is 12G, same with some of the other cameras.
And finally, on to one more place. So Frank, final stop on our massive Multidyne tour. What we got?
All right, so this is again a 12G product that is clipped to this this Blackmagic camera. As configured, it sends signals back and forth from the Blackmagic device, and via this SMPTE hybrid cable and a power injector of our own, we send power here as well as the signals back and forth, and just look how thin that is. That achieves all that. Now this product can be used without the Blackmagic base, with this camera or others, and then we have a receiver for this. On a completely separate note, but of course related, you see these hybrid cables. We now have a fully staffed fiber lab in-house. So we will make SMPTE hybrid cables, TAC cables, and among others. And you know, we have a video playing in the background, shows some of the boys working hard on that already.
Brilliant. Frank, an amazing tour as always. Of everything, and you've got a lot of kit here that you guys can supply. If people wanted to find out more about the Multidyne range of equipment, what's the website?
Multidyne.com.
Nice and simple. Frank, thank you very much. Well, there it is. The massive Multidyne tour ends for NAB 2017. So you may want to watch it a couple of times before you catch everything, but it's all there. If you want to find out more from NAB 2017, you can find that on our website, of course, and that's KITPLUS.com.